We've just read the beginning of the book of Deuteronomy. Ele hadvarim. These are the words that Moses spoke to all of Israel. The entire book of Deuteronomy is an experiment in recollection. Throughout the book, Moses is recalling the events that we just read in Exodus and Leviticus and Numbers. But there's something strange. Throughout the book of Deuteronomy, there are these small inconsistencies, these small things that are different in Moses's recounted version than the version we had read previously, than the original story. For instance, one of the most famous examples of this is in the giving of the commandment for Shabbat. In Exodus, when we read the 10 Commandments and we read the commandment for Shabbat, the word that is used is zachor, remember Shabbat, remember the Sabbath. But in Deuteronomy, actually next week when we read the commandment for Shabbat in Deuteronomy, the recounted version uses a different word. It says shamor, observe or guard the Shabbat. It's a seemingly small change in words, but it amounts to this tremendous amount of difference. Our rabbis teach that by using the word shamor to guard or observe the Sabbath, Moses was actually opening up for us an entirely new understanding about how to keep Shabbat, an entirely new set of rules and rituals to help us observe the Sabbath. So one small change, one change in words, in verbiage, changed everything. It changed our entire understanding of how we keep Shabbat. Words have the power to change not only the world around us, but also to change ourselves. I want to invite you to think about your past 15 months. If I were to ask you, how was your last year? How might you answer? We can choose the words quite carefully when we're speaking about this past year or any experience. For instance, we can say, this past year was terrible. Or we can say, this past year was really hard for me. The first statement is a closed statement, a statement of fact. This past year was terrible. But the second statement, this past year was really hard for me, it's an open statement. It invites us into relationship. Wow, this past year was really hard for me. I might say, tell me more. In what ways was it hard for you? Because even in the moments when we feel powerless, the book of Deuteronomy teaches us that we actually have one really important tool at our disposal. We have the power to choose how we recall, to choose the words that we use to speak about our experiences, to speak about our memories, to speak about our community, because the words we choose hold tremendous power. It has the power to invite relationship and the power to build community. We are coming upon the season for preparation for Rosh Hashanah, and I truly believe that Rosh Hashanah is the gift that Judaism has given to us. The gift to stop, to pause, to take note in our busy lives, to think about, how do you want to tell your story? What words do you want to use to choose to tell your story? As you reflect on this past year, try to remember Deuteronomy. Be like Moses. Take ownership over the memories you recall, and take ownership over the words you choose to tell your story.